Welcome to the Narrative Mindset Podcast. If this is your first time tuning in, I really appreciate you taking the time to listen to this podcast. Uh, I want to be honest with with the listeners, whoever does listen to this podcast. Really trying to find my voice, and I really am. I've been going through some different stories and trying to figure out what works best and what would work with my voice and everything. And I kind of right now I just said, well, let me just kind of wing it a little bit and then just uh get used to just talking freely and see what I can come up with. Um, for those of you who don't know, my day is pretty full. I get up around about 3, get ready, get um shower, and I eat these eggs I made with these little round egg makers. And they're pretty neat because you can uh put an egg or two in it, put it on a glass plate, put it in the microwave, 1 egg 1 minute, 2 eggs 2 minutes, and they come out round. So I bought these biscuits from Myers and I got the eggs, and I happened to find the big sausages. So basically, it's a sausage McMuffin with egg. Just the biscuits are whole wheat. So I make those in the morning. And my lunch, I make that when I get home. I hurry up and fix it, put it in the refrigerator. So when I get up, I don't have to make that. I pre-make my coffee. So when I get up, I don't have to make that. All I gotta do is boil water, heat up my egg, heat up my sausage, and I'm good because I don't want to waste any time. So I kind of sit around, watch TV a little bit till about 4 o'clock, and then I get out of here, go do Lyft uh, until about usually 1 o'clock. Or I like to be done earlier than that, but it doesn't always happen that way. So, and I deal with you deal with the public, and it can be a very trying job, you know. And the part about Lyft that I really hate about their company is they don't care about their employees. You know, I mean, I think last week I was sending in reports because people for some reason they try to send their minors to school, and it's like a direct r- rule violation. Don't send minors, but it's like people don't care about their kids, and they're really trying to send like kids. I remember one time I picked up 3 kids. It was a little girl. Her brother looked like he was probably in high school, maybe junior high school. Sister, probably junior high school. So we get going. That was really when I wasn't really honing in on the whole minor thing. I was just picking people up. So I picked them up. And I think the brother got out first, then the sister, and then these people, they left their little sister in the car. And I'm like, what in the world is going on here? So it's like, dude, what kind of brother are you? You know what I mean? What if I was some type of psychopath? I mean, that would be the last thing that you remember, that you left your sister in the car with a complete stranger. And I'm like, if I was his dad, I mean, he'd probably get punched. For no, no, dude, that's not the way you do things. Your sister gets out first. Both of your sisters. Then you get out last. You have the most fighting chance, to make it through a situation like that. And then I had one lady recently that I went and I was waiting outside for the customer, and I never know who I'm picking up, or sometimes they'll order an Uber for somebody else or a Lyft for somebody else. So this girl walks out and she looks like she's, maybe just starting junior high school, maybe. So she gets in the car and I look back and I say, how old are you? And she said 16. I said, no, I can't take you. She said, oh, but my mom, or I said, I don't do minors, and I had to send her back in the house. I didn't feel bad because, it's against the rule. So they always ask you on the app, do you want to uh, pick this person up again? So I said no. So I think a couple of days later, I went back and said, man, I recognize this apartment complex. I said, I think this was when I picked up that, or I had to tell the little girl to go back in the house. So she opens the gate and I go around. I said, oh crap, this is the same apartment. So she came out and had forgot something. So I drove off when she went back in the house. Cause I'm like, I'm not doing minors again. So I sent a message to Lyft, and I'll come back to that in a minute. I want to give you one more example. There was another time where I stopped again to pick up three kids. Looked like all of them was in elementary school, and I had to tell them, nope, I can't take it. Can't take it. You guys are minors. It's crazy. And the most important part of this conversation in this podcast is that they had an issue about 2 weeks ago where a guy picked up a little small girl and he took her to her the destination on the Lyft app, and then he told the girl to get out, and it was like, she was crying because it was the wrong address, and the mother, the very first thing the mother said is, well, why was she in the Lyft app? And it's like, why are you sending your daughter in a Lyft app knowing that, she's a little girl? If I was her father, I would be so pissed that my daughter's mother is sending my child in a Lyft by herself. I mean, I'm old school, so I'm trying that if if need be, I'll come get my daughter because I would rather waste gas than know that I made a decision that cost my daughter her life or her 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 uh, a security or anything like that. So now back to what I was saying. I filed a thing with Lyft, and then I get up this morning and I look at my phone and they send me a message back saying, "Well, we got your message and we'll make a note of it, but uh, just so you know, you've been getting 3 stars or lower from a customer experience, and you need to work on that." And I'm like, so did you just throw it back at me because I'm following your rules, your regulations? It's not like I'm not picking people up just because I'm just some kind of asshole. I'm not picking people up because this is a left violation, but after that, and they had threatened me I think it was last week, because I had too many cancellations. Get too many cancellations, we'll have to deactivate you. They threatened to deactivate me about every week. I don't know how long their job is gonna last, but it's like, I finally came to the conclusion that this is the way I look at it. Is number one, I think that sometimes people think that if they ruin somebody else's life, then their life is going to change in some way. And that's just not the way it works. because if I get deactivated, I still have everything that I had before I got deactivated. I have to get another job, but I'm looking at jobs almost every day that I just say, well, I don't really want that right now because I make more money. But it's not like I can't get it. It's not like I don't have a savings. As a matter of fact, I have a loan right now that I'm too lazy to fill out the emails that they sent me, so it's just sitting there. You know, and don't get me wrong, I'm not rich. I'm just what do they call it? Uh, that's not financially stable. It's I for, not financially secure. It's whatever you want to call it. It's when you put a little money back just in case. That's all it is. But uh, I do Uber. I mean, I do Lyft. I'm sorry. Um, and then once I get done, I come home and like I said, I get my lunch together and I do the podcast. And the podcast is literally I have an apartment with a galley kitchen. Come out of my kitchen into my dining room, and the kitchen is literally where my podcast is right now. On the other side of the wall is the refrigerator. So it's kind of funny. I did this because I wanted something to do and I also wanted something to work also. And I've never been a quitter. You know, I'll stop on something, you know, just like I stopped, I was getting scripts in small stores and stuff like that. And they just didn't sound right. And I said, well, rather than just not do anything, then I'll just kind of ramble, on my own thoughts and just see what I can come up with. Because doing a podcast, I mean, you run out of stuff to talk about sometimes and you don't know what to talk about, and I have a mind full of information that I'm always thinking about. I'm always thinking about ideas. I'm always, coming up with things and things of that nature. Always trying to figure something out, thinking of what else I could do as far as my microphone or my podcast or the EQ or just all kinds of stuff. And you just want things that will work. And it's tough finding things that'll work. And I think it's also tough finding your voice because everybody's voice is different and everybody, you know, can speaks in a different way, and the funny part about the whole thing is, I'm not gonna say I can't read, but reading is definitely tough, trying to, if you want to be an actor, you better learn how to read stuff off of paper first and not just in your head. Read aloud to try to see how inaccurate you are at basically reading. And actually, especially when you add emotion to it, I mean, it's like a horrible thing, to say something on your own. Yeah, you can, it's natural. But when you're trying to, read a script or kind of, get something out in your own words, it can be uh, really triggering because your style is unique and different from anybody else's, and I guess at the end of the day, you just don't give up. You just keep trying and trying and trying and trying and trying. And that's the way greats are made. A lot of mistakes, a lot of failures, but sooner or later, something works and you get some traction. But if you give up, then there's nothing because I don't know. The truth of the matter is nobody cares. Nobody cares if you give up. Nobody cares about accomplishments. Nobody cares about your movement except haters. They care because they don't want you to be in the position that you're in or accomplishing the things you're accomplishing. So they focus on what you're doing at all times. So that's a definite thing for them. They care. But that's it for this little bit of episodes, kind of like a mini episode. I just wanted to ramble a little bit. Thank you for tuning in to the Narrative Mindset